Facebook's head execution has shown how his information was amongst how collected in a confidentiality fracas. Mark Zuckerberg done the disclosing for his other day of creature surveyed in Washington. In a Associated Growth, the policy consulting at the cardiac of the case has announced its operating head execution is walking downward. He as well show how his company was studying if to get activity versus the College of Cambridge. The establishment is wherever the investigator Alexander Kogan, who had gathered and sold out private information to Cambridge Analytica, was relying. Which we found now is how down there's a entire program related in Cambridge College wherever, down there were a quantity of some researchers house such apps, Mr. Zuckerberg told. As, we do requirement to know if down there was thing bad departure on at Cambridge College common how will need a much stronger response of us. The college has reacted by proverb it would be amazed if Mr. Zuckerberg was just now aware of the job. Ours researchers include bin publications such a study with 2013 in main equal reviewed research periodicals, and these teaching include been informed wide in world print, it added. These include Turned on One research in 2015 led by Drive Alexander Ghost, Kogan, and company authored by 2 Facebook employees. We include Found No testimony how college researchers are incorrectly collection private information. Instead of Facebook let the policy consulting personality certify how it had ruined the accounting records, that it told had been purchased in infringement of the public web's rules. End of YouTube position by Energy and Commerce. We include a liability to do certainly which happened in application software developer Kogan and Cambridge Analytica doesn't occur once again, Mr. Zuckerberg told. The 33-year-old added how Facebook's auditing of some apps would get months to full. But he told how the company had seen no testimony as yet how Russia or China had taken to scratch human beings as data. Cambridge Analytica has rejected break the law and told it did really exclude the information. Alexander Nix, who had been in accusation before March, remnant hanging. Mr. Zuckerberg's 4-persons time exterior up the building board on power and trade accompanied a 5-time meeting in front line of 2 Sinead committees day yesterday. For a irascible previous exchanging, he rejected to offer a obligation to changing all users' failure confidentiality configure to gather the minimal sum of private data. The is a facility question, Mr. Zuckerberg told. How's frustrating to me, answered more Democratic Congresswoman Frank Pallone. In another place in the listening, Mr. Zuckerberg recognized how he believed it was unavoidable how the web would requirement new regulation. My stance is not how down there should be no regulatory, but I as well believe you include to be cautious on which regulatory you put in location, he told. The Facebook head as well florid crisp accusations of Republic Congresswoman Steve Scalise how the news story nourishes all go was picky versus prudent news story and substance in favor of permissive posts. Down there is completely no guideline in any of the changes how we do to include a prejudice, answered Mr. Zuckerberg. To the opposite our purpose is to be a plate for all ideas. Else Republic stretched a surprise party by display photos of illicit adverts for opiate drugs how he told had been dwell on Facebook day yesterday. Facebook is in fact authorizing an illicit operation and in so making you are suffering human beings, told Congresswoman David McKinley. Down there are a quantity of areas of substance how we requirement to do a superior job of police, Mr. Zuckerberg replied. Addition, how he believed synthetic intellect toolkit would do the probable in the next. Yet, several of the political community forced Facebook to be more than anticipatory on the question. Mr. Zuckerberg as well florid questions on the illicit trading of elephant ivory in close Facebook groups. In else Marshall exchanging, the industry lead was surveyed on the information his company gathered on human beings who had never signed up to his facility. Mr. Zuckerberg told the was made for safety need. And he was incapable to say how lot types of information were creature collected on non-members. Thou told all controls their information, told more Democratic Congresswoman Ben Ray Lujan. Yet you are collecting information on human beings how are not though Facebook users, How include never signed a agreement or confidentiality treaty. While you go to Facebook's I don't include a Facebook expense web page and would love to query all my private information saved by Facebook. It conducted you to a shape how says go to yours Facebook web page and later on yours expense configure you can load yours information. We've got to fix how some developments above the history day involve